Yeah, the Yelawolf Hillbilly Einstein was a pretty cool little track, actually. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
there's something to this guy. There's definitely something to him. Um, I don't know if I'm going to like everything about him, but I think I'm going to appreciate most everything about him. He gives me that kind of vibe.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what I'm thinking too.
because I feel like he's like a dude who'll be like, he'll hold on, he's going to stand up for like a lot of the Southern Confederate type, you know, heirloom type things and messages because that's his family. He's gonna,
Okay.
like it's gonna be real to him, but I'm gonna be like, ah, man, you gotta let that shit go. That's my opinion, right? But I think he's authentically like, because I'm taking this from something I read, a little something I read on him. Uh, I think he was like, you know, kind of ticked off that people wanted to take the Confederate flag off of everything. And he's like, you can't erase my heritage, kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
And it's like, well, yeah, I mean, it's probably true, your fan, but you lost. Winners don't, or losers don't get to decide the fucking rules, okay? You got your ass smacked down into place. You do what you're told, or we'll fight again. Right? Is right? Come on, Yella.
So
Let's
everybody take note that Connor does have a Mississippi, the new Mississippi
the
flag
new, and I'm
behind him.
I'm proud of that. I'm proud of
Yes.
this because I would go cover football for the local newspaper, and it's all black high school against an all black high school, and I would watch the color guard go out and do the little flag dance and little music, band music
Hmm.
before the coin toss and all that, and I'd watch this 12, 14-year-old girl walk out with a goddamn, you know, fucking Confederate flag in the corner of the Mississippi State flag.
Yeah.
And it felt like a Jew walking around with the fucking Nazi symbol.
Right.
It just felt like that's fucked up, man. Now I am a Yankee. I'm a damn Yankee now. I came down here when that was one of the earlier things I've seen when I was come down here. But that blew my mind. I was like, that just fucking can't be. Does anyone see that? It just bugged me to no end. And so I think statewide, we're all very proud that we made this. This didn't happen. This happened without much of any problem. You know what I mean? It had been put up for vote years past where it was obviously contested. But this particular time, the time I was here to witness it all, it kind of went smoothly.
Yeah.
And some person made that flag. We all voted on it, and that's the
I think
winner.
it's a, I think it's a beautiful flag.
I do too.
You know.
The only rule for the contest was the flag had to say "In God We Trust" somewhere on it. Other than that, you could do whatever. So I don't. It's like I'm cool. I'm okay with that too. Personally, it was fine. But yeah, the Magnolia. We're the Magnolia State, and so yeah, I'm proud of it. If it were 2 years ago and I had this up, I think we'd be kicked off the fucking station. I don't even think they would let us record shit. I mean, that's how weird and outdated I thought that flag was.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
kind of
Right.
jarring to see the Confederate flag on. Now I'm pissing off a lot of people too, who are like just like Yelawolf, be like, dude, that's my fucking family. You weren't here. Quit talking about it. I lost lineage here. In
Right.
that.
Right.
You know, I was like, well, you didn't lose everyone because you're still here. So, won't shut the fuck up. But that no, I'm not gonna. I'm just being an asshole. But yeah, so it's one of those things where wear it on your body, wear it in your home, put a bumper sticker on your car, but keep it off of public ground, man. Anything. Like, there should be no denomination of any support anywhere on public grounds. No Christianity, Hindu, this, or no nothing. I want to go to the bank and see nothing. But if you're totally into it, you could rock your shirt and be who you are, you know what I mean, on your private body and property. Knock yourself out, you know what I mean? But anyway,
what's the name of this song?
Yeah, sorry.
I know it's a long song too.
Oh yeah, it's a long opening, long song. This is going to be the biggest track of our year right here. People are going to love this.
Yeah.
Hey, well you're not a Yankee anymore. Yourself. You're
I never was a Yankee. I'm not from the Northeast.
Listen, a Yankee is above the fucking line.
Yeah.
Mason-Dixon.
Right.
Okay? You're from Cleveland, Ohio, which is its own...
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you're from Illinois.
Nobody in Illinois says that. Not even the dumb ones. Only dumb people from other places say that. Like Barack Obama. He actually said that once.
Did he really?
Yeah. He also didn't drink the water when he went to Flint, Michigan. That's when I knew I hated politics. Flint, Michigan had all that water problem, and he's sitting there trying to, make it seem okay, or just lending support, and trying to get this thing going. And he's like, and they're like, yeah, well, have a sip of water. See, it's fine. And he goes like this. Pursed his lips. He didn't open his mouth. He faked it on TV, man. It's so fucked up. That's when I knew. I was like, that's it. I hate them all. No way. I was like, politicians, they're just nuts. I would love to replace them with any aliens out there that we have. Just swap them out. I'll take them. Good aliens, bad aliens. How much worse could it be? All right. Yelawolf's got me talking already. This is cool looking. I don't know. It seems black and white. To whom it may concern.
Okay. And for those who aren't aware, this is like a 8-minute video, but I think most people that are going to come for it knows how long this video is, so I'm not educating nobody.
That, and they're going to see that this is a 20-minute video of ours, and they're just going to make their choice out the door, I don't think so. Some people will be like, let's do it. So this is for y'all who are doing it. You're badass. Yes. But I like this. We like Yelawolf, but we need to hear more, and so let's do that now.
Okay. Oh.
Weird.
Yeah. Okay.
It'll do something.
So I had a phone call with a good friend of mine the other night. And it seems that I've created some confusion. He told me straight up, people don't know you like I do, man. I guess I haven't said enough. Or maybe I've said too much, I don't know. But I don't want to leave any stone unturned, or no questions about who I am, or what I represent. So here you go. I grew up in the deep gutter, raised by wolves,
church steeples in a single white mother. Taught to be blind to any color by hippies who've been smoking weed since the 60s with dukes of hassle for bed covers. Rock and roll, country music and cocaine. One hand on the Bible and the Ouija board in the other. The irony of it all is so thick that a flower gets stuck in the thin air of that dope smoke. Lennox Skinner and Michael Jackson, practicing moonwalking with a broomstick in the kitchen, popping and locking. No BET on television, we didn't have it. We had the rabbits, the tinfoil, mason jar and a counter full of bacon oil. Now looking back, talking about freedom, yeah, you were spoiled. Oblivious to the hideous crimes from the insidious minds that took place right below us on the southern soil. The blood and the pain left a recoil. The creek waters holding secrets. Ghosts of Confederate veterans in the wind. Backwoods are haunted with the death and the sin. Slave ships carried the lost souls. Wicked white men slaughtering angels for a fucking barcode. We bear these wicked ways. The world is still turning. And these motherfuckers with their crosses is still burning. Yeah, I seen them at the courthouse. Not really sure what they trying to prove still. They jumped over mountains, they still trying to move hills. And the daughters probably listen to Drew Hill. Pussy hotter than blue steel for Drew Hill. Some Jesus come take the wheel, no you steer drunk. The youth here punks, the truth here come. I show you how these country folks pop their trunk. And my honesty is modest. To tell the whole truth, yeah, I've pondered and I've pondered. To be spit it and called a rigger from who you consider the father at 14. To make you wonder and you wonder. Yeah, that's hard to hear, ain't it? But at that very moment, my picture got painted. Call it God, call it what you will, but I knew the South was sick still and in need of some changes, so I took it upon myself to adopt all the outcasts. I took the American and the Confederate flag, threw it in my back pocket. I even went and got tats and carried them like a shield for the shit that won't tell me back. And these redneck brothers of mine playing that 3-6 in a fucking cornfield and beat shorts with lift kits, oblivious to the beauty of juxtaposition. They had no idea how special it was to witness them in deep Alabama playing Snoop and Group Home, then hanging Metallica. I discovered a new zone and Catfish Billy, a way for me to talk about it. From then on, I was questioning how they doubted by my peers who didn't understand.
Okay, phew. I had to let that go a while. Obviously, it's a story we have to listen to here, you know?
Yeah.
But this is really going into everything I'm kind of was talking about with that, you know, the flag and what it means to him and the history of the South and how he's making sense of it. See, I will give my cliff notes as a guy who's here 10, 11 years or something. It's not been long, and Yelawolf isn't a whole lot older than us, I don't think. But it has not been long since the first of, like he's talking, people going out in the cornfields and all, going out in the levees and everything like that, in the trucks and all that, but rocking, you know, I think he was talking like 3-6 Mafia or something, or even before Snoop Dogg and all that. That really didn't happen when it was live, when that was brand new. At least
Right, okay.
Snoop Dogg, okay? There was still just mean old cases of trouble down in the South, in the poor South, that he's from, you know, he's from, that were going on in the early 90s. Overshadowed often because they're singular stories, and they were overshadowed by large things like the LA riots and all those kinds of stuff, you know. And the fact that national media never really put tons of spotlight on the South anyway. So there was some mean old business happening down here still. Kids raised a certain way, talking, thinking, acting horribly by being raised that way. And but he remembers a part, and he's probably the first real generation that is changing, where that tune changed, where you know, now it started with the music and the culture, and then, you know, finally just using your brain, you know what I mean? But it's hard to overcome your social standing, your parents, the church you went to, the friends that your parents have, your uncle who's a real prick, you know, all that. That's
Right.
like, you got to walk through that and make your own decision. And I like how he said, he's like, I took the Confederate flag and the American flag and put them in my back pocket and took off, and like to figure it out for myself, kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, and he talks about he does talk about like a lot of those dichotomies there too, right? Like he's talking about the Bible on one hand, and then like I don't know, alcohol on the other, and then people. I don't know, what was the line about worshiping God, but then chasing people with barcodes or something like that?
Well, that was the slave ship thing. He was like
Okay.
committing sin on people, like it's like committing these sins on people in slave ships for the sake of barcodes or something, like they turn the
Right,
people
okay.
into a product, and
Yeah.
and that those sins are basically what everyone that I've met in poor South, living in the Delta and all that, everybody believes the sins are alive, are demons that are truly in the shadows of the place where the crimes were committed.
Okay.
That is just how they live, right?
Okay.
That's so where that is, where those atrocities occurred, are where horrible spirits lie, and you could come into contact with them, and that's why you need to be strong in God and all that, to fight that off or whatever. So when he's talking like that, he's thinking those kind of sins. There's so many of them.
Mm-hmm.
So in his mind, he's kind of saying there's so many demons available for a weak mind to inherit.
So it's basically like an original sin, but him trying to overcome those.
That's it. It's
The
sins.
history.
It's sins of the father,
Yeah.
and that shit. Without going into it, it is real. From what I examine and live, it's fucking bananas. But you inherit some other asshole's issues, and and it's your blood, and it's like, fuck. And you kind of have to walk past it to get to yourself,
Yeah.
And
Okay.
that's growing up. That's like leaving behind kid things. When you're an adult, there's supposed to be this purge of self. You just leave it back there, man, because you can't carry that shit with you no more. But that's you crossing that bridge, being your own man. But the sins of the father are fucker, because a lot of people have shitty dads. A lot of people don't even know their dad and all that, and that's a whole like what. It's recidivism. You often repeat the mistakes of the father. If your dad's a lowlife, hit you a bunch, sometimes you get a kid and you hit the shit out of him, and you don't want to at all. Well, your dad probably didn't want to at all either, but he had it happen to him, and obviously any kind of drug or alcohol makes these things really difficult to deal with. So you got to be clean if you're come from a bad spot. That is a must. But which is something I think he does. But yeah, that's what it is, man. He's breaking through the sins of the father and the sins of the whole fucking South. The South succeeded, became a united body against the rest of its own country. You could say lost, but both sides lost like 200,000 men. It was like the bloodiest war of all time.
Right.
And and then you're just left with the pieces. Nobody's gonna tell you how to deal with all that. So he's got his literal father and his literal like town and everything. And it's obviously very big with black and white in the South. It's huge. It was a massive, massive, massive topic.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's a little rant there, but
Yeah, that's a lot. Let's carry on.
Yes.
That all these years we've been the brunt of the jokes. America made it clear that we were backwards, wrong, behind, and segregated. So I decided the Yelawolf would go make it more obvious that we've grown. I polished up my tone, I signed a shady and brought a record deal home. Look, mama, no hands, I'm coming up, yeah, I'm grown. Respect from the OGs, co-signing my songs. First it was Bun B, then Raekwon and T.I.P. Then all of these MCs wanted features from me. But I was alive while my tongue was a fucking blade to these critics who didn't get it. The clips from the grenade in my teeth. a little too unique. The market for me was smaller than some thought it would be, even me. So I looked in the mirror, saw the Jordans, the gold chain, my shirt, Pantera, rubber flag in my pocket, red tattooed on my neck, heart of Dixie across the stomach, and it ain't clicked yet. Maybe I wore the wrong shoes back to the woods, because these suede number 5s can't get wet. Maybe it's something I need to go figure out on my own. So after Radioactive, I took my shit back home, disappeared from the world, became increasingly different. Tuned in every once in a while to see who was spitting, but mainly I was in Nashville, getting back to my roots, exploring music with love story. I made it my truth. Dropped a single called Till It's Gone and traveled the globe. I started seeing rebel flags everywhere in my shows. I didn't think nothing of it, I assumed that they get it. I'm on some new South shit, but I have to admit it. I saw the post up on Instagram proclaiming I'm racist, and then I'm fucked in the head and I don't know where my place is. I started taking it personal, cause I treat people equal, homie. I got mixed kids and music is how I feed them. Lo and behold, as I'm saying this, I discovered this evil white boy went in the church and killed 9 innocent people. God damn.
Yeah.
Hold on, moment of silence.
Oh, I gotta take that break. Yeah. That's incredible. You catch all that?
Yeah, I'm catching a lot of this. Like, this part I'm understanding a lot more, especially after you've told me everything. And then this is like, okay, now this really makes a lot more sense to me, because he's definitely not using any abstract language at this point. He's like, I went to Nashville, people went to my shows, and they called me a racist. I got missed kids. They came with Confederate, all this stuff.
Right.
And so,
it's truly just, he just really wants to tell his story here. He's just really trying to tell that story.
Yeah, I mean, but to be entirely honest with you, if it wasn't for your insight, I wouldn't appreciate it nearly as much as I am. Just really understanding it.
Well, that's cool. I'm glad. Thanks. I mean, I'm glad to help because, yeah, it's just me being down here for so long. I get it. I get his take, and I'm already liking how it's dispelled some of my own notion on him already, so it's like, wow, you want to learn someone, you got to fucking read or listen to him, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But that's heavy, and I remember that case he's talking about right now with that kid walking in that church. They have that footage. The kid walked into the church and sat down for like 35 minutes with about 14 people in that church. A little black church off the side of the road, like got 1 million of them in the Delta in particular. And after the Eucharist or whatever, he just up and shot them all, killed like 9 of them. Jeez. And that's fucked up. And that was about 5 years ago now, I guess.
Yeah.
But
that case.
Yeah. So see how it hit him. This is the moment of silence.
9 innocent church going, people get murdered. There's not a word I can utter. There's not a rhyme I can say. There ain't no fixing that ever. Those people brutally slay, and I refuse to see ways to justify all the blame. Them motherfuckers insane. I got so mad at my own image. I took down merch. No explaining it now. It's only making it worse. This fucking coward, this criminal's just a puppet, a mental case. But the truth is the truth. He did it because of race. There's nothing I can describe. The shame that I felt inside. The white boy with the flag committed this homicide. I tried so long to defend the South, and yes, it was my decision. My interviews flow through the internet. You can see my vision. I never thought myself to be like a politician, just a witness to the sickness. The killing was in the bridge and the bricks that I laid to the road that I built from the love and the wisdom. I'm trying to find my way, but now I'm feeling in prison from the stereotype. I was prepared for the fight. Hell, I'll be stereotyped into my burial site. I married a loaded gun when I married this mic. Ain't playing Russian roulette, ain't playing around with my life. Cause what I cannot lose is the respect that I've gained. Friendships I cherish, fuck the money and fame. Black American culture is in the thread of my veins. It's rock and roll till I die. I'm just a rebel in shame, yes I apologize for me and anybody with that flag. Honestly, any proud Southerner is sad. How do you think I feel when I look at my granddad, imagining him dead because of that piece of trash? I got nephews, nieces who need this peace between this, but media is fiendish. So if you feel like you're above it or beneath it, have a logical mind about who your team is. And when you look at me, dawg, don't look at me like another branch off a tree, dawg. I took the shit and balanced it the best that I could. Try to hold up the wood of America's old seesaw. But this ain't hee-haw with me, ma. We ain't on the Cosby Show, are we, bro? Daddy may give a goodnight kiss, but I can promise you this, that you ain't promised tomorrow. I wish I could go back to the innocence. I remember my friends with no differences. What pigment is relative, is it it? Maybe by 2050 we'll be over it. Big crit, I love you homie, keep killing shit. You inspired us first, I got your back and that's limitless. It is what it is, we cannot fix all this ignorance. American flags up, it's over, I'm into this.
It's got to be painful to feel like you're being blamed for a tragedy, or that you're somehow
attached to even to feel like you're attached to it.
Yeah.
Because one of the first things he said about after that tragedy, he's like, I stopped selling my merch, which told me he probably had the flag up on that merch a bunch.
Yeah,
because I've seen those pictures of him back in his day. Not like he's nothing. He ain't lying about anything. I just think he just didn't. He's a Southern guy. It wasn't as big an issue 15 years ago or 12 years ago or something like that.
Right.
But yeah. The whole South is super sensitive. Any one incidents of race related something, it affects all of them. Certainly every good person.
Right.
Every good person in here feels as one when something goes like that, and there's so many people want to just be done with it so bad, like, what can I say, what can I do? And I know that's true from white and black. Just let it be done. I hear from black folks, it's okay, it's overjudged. Dr. King, live the dream. Judge on merits of character and not color. Certain people want that life. Others, they have some anger, man, and some of it's justified. Definitely justified when stupid shit still happens.
I mean, it's just like what you were saying. What we were talking about in this whole song is that the individual has to cross those social, societal, parental lines, and make their own journey. And to be honest with you, I could see it being terrifying for a lot of people. I mean, I know, like, even me, when I left home, it was very specifically to get myself away from all the things that I saw and was around that I very much needed to get away from.
Yeah.
And I didn't have to travel thousands of miles to do it. I could have just went 5 miles down the road.
Right.
But 5 miles was just too close for me. It's just like, but yeah, man. It's a good song.
Yeah,
That's all I could say.
It's one man's story, and it gives us a Southern angle. I really appreciate it being here because I need more voices. I met the best. Listen, black and white people live together in the South.
Yeah.
In all my North living time, it's completely segregated.
You know what? That's something I will definitely tell you. Like, at least from my little times in the South, like, I'm not saying I've been in the South. Like, there's obviously, it's a horrible thing to say the South when there's so many sections of the South.
I guess.
So I would just say the sections of the South that I have been in, right?
Okay.
And I even heard it from people from New York say that those sections, especially your section, is less racist than New York.
No doubt.
Less racist
100%.
than the North, right?
And I'm Chicagoan. Less racist than Chicago.
Yeah.
Totally.
And so, I just
because
think
you have to
that
say it to each other's face, and no one's going to do that. Plus, we know each other. We met each other. The curtain is dropped. Oz has been, seen here where there's no hide up there. Nothing's brought them together. They have they have never been able to come together over any societal. They don't share the same restaurants or supermarkets or churches or anything. But everything's shared down here, so everyone knows everyone. So it's, I'm telling you, it's first shall become last, last shall become first. It's when we're at a even better place of race relations, people will actually be listening to more people from the South, because they're much more ahead of the curve by the time, the couple of decades worth of spending their lives together, communicating, working, all that. I can't leave the South because of it. I'm not from here. I wouldn't mind going some other places. But I can't go somewhere where it's all of a sudden back to segregated. It's not going to happen. I can't do that. It breaks my brain. Especially I love football so much and everything. And it's just like, I'd be so much further away from it in my own way if I left and I don't get to talk to another black person again. I'm going to say one last thing. On this song at the very end, he mentioned Big Crit. And that's Kritt with like a dot in every one. Maybe just one T. I had someone come over, his name was Mike, and told me, hey, you're doing that show, listen to Big Crit. Now he had some big hits. He's a Southern artist. So he's a black Southern artist that Yelawolf referenced at the end of his song. And they're probably about the same age, too. So something like I was going to tell you, hey, we should do a Big Crit song, So
let's do it.
Let's do it. All right. Maybe we'll get Mike on. I don't know. It'd be cool. But that was great, Dave. That was really great. All right.
Yeah.
That's awesome. We'll see you soon.
Bye.